Hello everyone, welcome to the second episode of Amazing Temples from Aalayam Kanden. In this episode, we are going to be looking at 10 very special Ganeshas of Tamil Nadu. Ganesha, Ganapati, Vinayaka, Vakratunda, Pillayar, many names depicting one god, the remover of obstacles. Now here are some of the special Ganeshas in Tamil Nadu for you to visit once we are back to normal. We start with the Alagar temple Ganesha in Viluppuram district. This is the oldest Ganesha at the moment currently in worship at the Yamadandishwara temple. And this Ganesha had been found buried at the time of renovation. The deity has an inscription at its base which dates back to the 5th century, which gives the details of the donor who had actually contributed this idol to the temple. Next is a Ganesha that is quite familiar with most people, Karpa Ganesha from Pillayarpatti. This is a Ganesha in a Pandya rock-cut cave temple, a Valampuri Vinayakar. He has his trunk which is turned towards the right, and he has 2 arms instead of 4 arms, that is the normal iconography of Ganesha. Historians differ in their views about the antiquity of this particular deity. It ranges between the 4th to the 6th century. Vatapi Ganapati from the 7th century CE. This Ganapati is said to have been brought by Paranjoti, who was the Pallava general of Mamalla, and it was brought from Vatapi, which is today's Badami in Karnataka. Again, there are different claims. The one at Tiruchengattangudi, which is the village to which Paranjoti, who then became Sirutondar Nayanar, belongs to, is claimed to be the Vatapi Ganapati. However, historians are of the opinion that the one at the Tiruvarur Tyagarajaswamy temple, which you see on your right side, is more likely to qualify to be the Vatapi Ganapati. This is the Mukuru Nipilaya in the Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, the 8-feet Ganesha, who is offered a kolkattai, which is a special sweet dish which is made for Ganesh Chaturthi. This is made from 3 kurunis of rice flour. So 3 kurunis would probably be about 18 paddies. So it's a huge kolkattai which is offered to the Ganapati, and so he is come to be known as the Mukuru Nipilaya. Again, a very special Ganesha. This is a Ganesha at Big Temple in Tanjavur, and probably the first time that the word Pillayar was used in an inscription, and this was the inscription in the 29th year of King Rajaraja I, where he says Rajaraja Devar Alayat Pillayar Ganapatiyarka. So the inscription is about offering him 150 bananas every day. So for a year, which at that time was only 360 days, 54,000 bananas were required for offering, and for this purpose, King Rajaraja placed 360 coins in the treasury. This money was lent out, and from the interest, the bananas were to be purchased and offered to the deity. So it's not just an inscription that speaks about the usage of the word Pillayar and about offerings that were made to the deity. It was also about the financial management in the temples towards sustainability, so that the offerings and the worship was not donor or philanthropist dependent, but the temple ran its own methods of lending and then receiving interest, which would keep the various services running. The next Ganesha is the Swaitha Vinayakar at Tiruvalanjuri. This Ganesha is believed to have been made out of sea foam, and the legend goes that King Indra created this Ganesha out of sea foam and prayed to him in order to obtain nectar when the milky ocean was being churned. So he is called Swaitha Vinayakar. This is Periyane Ganapati in Tirukoilur. The Veerataneshwarar temple is where he resides, and it is here that poet Avayar had sung the Vinayaka Ragaval. Apparently, Avayar was in a hurry to complete the Agaval because she wanted to join Sundaramurti Nayanar and Cheraman Peruman, who are on their way to Kailasha, and this is Mount Kailash where Lord Shiva resides. So Ganesha is said to have reassured her that she will reach in time, and then assumed a gigantic proportion and placed Avayar with his trunk ahead of the duo in Kailasha. So very special Ganesha again. This is Shivambhakar near Vellore, where the Varasiddhi Vinayaka temple has 11 Swayambhu Ganeshas who are placed in the form of the Om. These Ganeshas, the Ekadasha Ganeshas as they are known, had been buried underground and were excavated when the Ganesha is said to have appeared in the dream of a minister from Maharashtra called Tukoji, who had been passing by that area and who had stayed the night in the forest. So Ganesha appeared in his dream, told him that 11 Ganeshas were buried in that place, and then this gentleman brought them out and constructed a shrine for them. Mahaperyava of the Kanchi Shankara Mutt has narrated an incident relating to this Shivambhakar Varasiddhi Vinayakas in his in Deivathin Kural volume 6, wherein he states that he had once vowed that he would break 108 coconuts to these Ganeshas and had forgotten about it. And so once when Jayendra Saraswati was seated on an elephant, he was passing through this temple, the elephant refused to move, and when Mahaperyava was approached as to why the elephant was not moving, he remembered his vow, and when the offering was completed, then the elephant moved. So these 11 Ganeshas are still seen open to the air. Very small, quiet, lesser known temple, but definitely a must visit temple to see these Swayambhu Ganeshas. This is the Vinayakar Sabha in Tirupasur village in Tiruvallur district. 11 Ganeshas are arranged in a kind of an L-shaped setting, which is known as the Vinayakar Sabha, and these 11 Ganeshas are believed to have been installed by Mahavishnu because Vishnu had lost 11 out of the 16 selvams, the 16 types of wealth, and in order to regain them, the legend goes that he installed these 11 Ganeshas and worshipped them. Again, Tirupasur, not many people visit. It's a very quiet, lesser known temple, but very significant by way of the rich legends and the mythology and inscriptions that are associated with this temple. Now, last but not the least, the Mundi Vinayakar at Pulyakulam in Coimbatore. Currently, this is Asia's largest Ganesha, and it is about 19 feet and 10 inches high and 11 feet and 10 inches wide and weighs about 190 tons. So may Lord Ganesha, the destroyer of obstacles, save and protect each one of us through these troubled times. On behalf of Aalayam Kanden, I wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi. I will meet you again in another episode of Amazing Temple.